Hi everyone, I know it's been so freaking long, but today is a really great day because I know it's a little bit weird. I am not used to filming YouTube videos anymore, but I'm finally coming back. Kinda somehow. I just really wanted to post this video and this was the perfect time to do so. I wouldn't say I'm like completely back on YouTube, but I really want to do more things on YouTube. I started a full-time job, so it's kind of hard to do everything. The interview you're gonna see is the first one on this channel, hopefully not the last one. Also, it was filmed last July and the EP was supposed to come out in September, October, but it got pushed to March. So when I'm filming this video, it is not out yet. So yeah, I have not a lot of hair. My room setting is different and I feel like I'm a complete different person. But obviously I could not have my first interview not posted on YouTube because we had such a good conversation with the artist I'm introducing you to today, which is Stormia.
Why you should listen.
Well, I already said it, but Stormia. Before everything, I'm just gonna tell you how I met Stormia because it is such a random story. I received an Instagram message at some point and she told me that she liked my video and that she was an artist. So at first when you receive that kind of message, you're like, what do you want? But we talked a bit more and I listened to her songs and I really freaking loved it. So we talked a bit more and we decided to like make an interview for her new EP that was coming out. I discovered Sunlight just like that.
Watch me climb, I fell from high. I hit the ground hard, I hit the ground. You watch me climb, I fell from high. I hit the ground hard, I hit the ground. You watch me climb, I fell from high. I hit the ground hard, I hit the ground. You watch me climb, I fell from high. I hit the ground hard, I hit the ground.
Stormia, or her real name that I am so sorry, Mia, if I butchered that name, but Miroslava Markowska, and she was born in 2001 in Poland, which is probably why my accent is so bad. She's currently living in London, but she lived a big part of her life in Poland, which I never visited and I really want to visit at some point. Another thing about Sunlight, the music video was filmed on the coast of Brittany, France, and your girl, just right here, was born and raised in Brittany, France. The chances were so thin. Kinda feels like it was meant to be. So Mia moved to the US at 17, which is freaking young, to study music and continue a bachelor in songwriting at the ICMP in London. And this is a perfect transition because she has a song called Dear London. I also wrote the French subtitles on YouTube. If you want to see them, I wrote the translation, so and talks about her relationship to the city itself and how much can change between living in the countryside surrounded by nature and the mountains in Poland to getting into this big of a city. I love how she managed to talk about it because it is such an interesting subject and I think she does a fantastic job at explaining with harsh words a very difficult situation. I wouldn't know how to explain it. I always love reading her lyrics because it puts words on some feelings I have sometimes.
Touch broken glass, the graveyards of the parties keep your voice down. Stay, I 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 stay. My heartbeat is so jumpy. I stay, I stay, I stay, I stay. I like it when they click my name. But I can't make it matter. Won't you let me go? I've been fasting on love. I need to feel. Won't you let me grow? I've got down on some low. I'm feeling alright.
The next song I want to talk about is called Mountain. It represents her so well, in my opinion, because it's really like her world, her musicality and her songwriting. We talked about it in the interview, but she has this way with words and she puts so much thought into everything she writes and everything she does. I admire that. It really makes me want to write more music. Making people inspired is like one of the greatest things in the entire world, so...
I thought I wanted to be everything at once. Don't make nobody leave 1,000 lives. is a universe. A sun will come out, sun will go down, sun will come out, sun will go down.
The last song for today, before the interview, is called Gold, and you might probably know that, but I'm a sucker for lots of harmonies and a lot of voice layering. Gold sounds really strong, yet so minimalistic. It has this like really deep, natural bass. It's like the music is so loud, you feel it in your chest. It's like I hate this feeling, but I also love it. And this song makes me want to like have the music so loud that I cannot hear my heartbeat anymore. You know what I mean?
I want life like my steak, bloody and super raw. Don't wanna talk about rain, I'd rather break your phone. I don't want SPF, Botox and fresh girl juice. Look at my wrinkled face, I'm smiling every day. I'm still there, who tried to be there. I'm still there, don't try to take me there. I'm still there, who tried to be there.
Well, just the last few words before getting to interview, but thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget you can subscribe because I might be coming back on YouTube to talk more about music, maybe post more vlogs and little crochet on or like sewing stuff because I've been doing lots of creative things. I hope you will enjoy the interview as much as I enjoyed having this conversation with Stormia, and I hope you will be able to listen to her songs because I think it is a really great piece of work. She put a lot of thoughts into it and she really deserves people listening to her and like acknowledging her. So yeah, go send her a lot of love, and now let's get to the interview. Kiss. Hi everyone, today I'm joined with the amazing Stormia. So a round of applause. I have a few questions for you and to talk about you as an artist and obviously your art. Are you ready for the first question?
Yeah, bring it on.
So first of all, it's more gonna be about you as an artist, but what does being an artist mean to you and why do you make music?
It's kind of a long story. The basic answer is I make music because I lost interest in anything else. It sounds
Fair.
a bit depressing and very
I
dramatic, but it's as a kid I was interested in so many things like nature, marine biology, languages, dance, art. Up until high school, I couldn't decide, like, do I want to be a painter? Do I want to be a musician? Do I want to be a journalist? Or do I want to, like, study languages? So at some point, it was basically a decision between studying project management in Denmark, Nordic languages, Scandinavian languages in Poland,
Yeah.
or fashion journalism in London. So
This is
it was
all over
so
the place.
random.
I love it.
But I felt like so anxious about the decision, and still, like, even though those ideas were cool and exciting, something didn't feel right. And up until I spoke to my vocal coach, it was just a regular session with her, just practicing some stuff, harmonizing with the piano. And she just assumed that I am going to pursue music as a higher degree. I didn't say anything to her, but she said something like, oh, pay attention now because you will need this when you study this and this. I was like, oh, I can do this for real. I can take myself seriously as a musician. Ever since, it all clicked for me. Also, it was 2020, so it was the time of you know what,
Yeah.
and everyone in our generation got hit with this weird feeling of, oh, we're not unbreakable, everyone can die, tomorrow there might not be tomorrow. So I was like, if there's not tomorrow, I will feel at ease. I knew I was doing everything true to myself.
I love
So that's the reason I'm doing music now. And what being an artist means, right? That was the
it
question
is.
as well. To me, it's like just steering away from all the like logistics, straight facts. To me, being an artist is communicating with the environment and with the world around me with a different language. And this language is made of melodies, notes, chords. So this is our kind of alphabet. It's very universal. It's like, the non-verbal languages. It's very primordial.
Yeah,
It's just resonates between people.
it does.
Yeah.
I love that.
What would you say? Because I know you're a musician as well. How would you describe being an artist to you?
This is a huge question and I didn't think about it, but I feel like being free would be the thing that comes to my mind directly. It's just being free and being able to do whatever you want. Tell people something in this language of music. You said it so well.
Being free. I love that.
Now let's talk about your EP that is coming out in August. With this concept EP, could you maybe describe it in 3 words and why these words?
It's bold, dystopian, change.
Okay, why these 3 words?
I'd say it's bold because I do not hesitate from saying things how they are. I think it's also a part of me as a Polish person. I am, I'm just straightforward, straight to the point. I see a big difference, like a cultural difference here in England. People like to say things a bit around. So sometimes I say something to my colleagues, just talking what I think, and they're like, you said that.
I get it.
I just
As
say
a French
my opinion.
person, I completely get it.
Europeans unite.
Yep.
This is a big part of my identity. I'm just straightforward. Sometimes I like to be sharp. I like to take the listener by surprise and just go
Say
for
it.
it. Also, change. Change because this heroine of the EP is a concept EP. So it's like a chronological story of this heroine, Stormia. She basically starts on with this frustration, sorrow, misery, and she's not happy with the surroundings she lives in. What was I talking about?
About the word change. I'm
The
guessing
change.
like,
Oh,
because you start like the heroine starts as something at the start and then it evolves.
It evolves,
Maybe.
yes.
Evolves.
Exactly.
Towards
With
maybe
with
happy ending.
I'd say it's a happy ending, but I don't want to make it like very clear. I want to
Yeah.
leave it open-ended for the listener. Yeah, I'd say in the span of the last 2 tracks of the EP, Stormia is basically, she's discovering this spark of hope and she learns her new path. I don't want to say too much
Of course.
because,
it's a secret.
yeah,
What was the 3rd word? It was bold, change, and
dystopian.
dystopian. Exactly.
I
Why
mean, dystopian. I think all of us grew up on those books like Hunger Games or
Yeah.
Divergent. So as we grew older, we learned it's actually the reality. I mean, I don't want to go into this doomerism, this spiral of doom and hopelessness, but this EP is like a illustration, a depiction of the world when there is no space for joy, no space
Yeah.
for simply enjoying life, because all you're supposed to do is bring profit.
You talked about an heroine and the EP itself was based on her journey. Do you see yourself in that heroine? You said that their name was Stormia, which is your name. So is it just a character or is it kind of you?
Well, 100% Stormia is me. She's influenced by my experiences, by my thoughts. I am a very sensitive person, and as you know, I come from a small town in Poland. I spent half of my childhood in nature, in the mountains, in the forests. I kind of took it for granted, and then I moved out to London.
Quite a change.
And it's a huge change. It's a huge city. I've had so many adventures since moving here, and it's changed my view on the world, and I grew as an artist, as a person. But nevertheless, it's a super traumatizing experience for the nervous system. So you need to learn how to operate in that new setting.
I mean, you said reconnecting with Mother Nature, so I'm guessing it's refining Mother Nature in a place so different than the place where you grew up? Because
yeah.
finding and reconnecting with Mother Nature in a capital like London sounds kind of difficult. So how do you do it?
For this EP, I'm giving myself a chance to confront all the negative feelings with London, to confront all the frustration and feeling like I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and I'm using it to find a safe place for myself again. But I liked what you said about finding nature in a new place. In London, there are some most beautiful parks, but if you go into the central London, suddenly you feel like you're out of this world. It feels like you're in some futuristic kind of place. Everything is concrete. So many cars, so many noisy people. Even if I spend the whole day in a park, I go to the central and it all goes away.
Yeah.
So this journey, it's also about realizing that I am nature, we are nature, and addressing the fact that we cannot separate from nature, accepting that we need rest, accepting that we need sleep.
I love that. That's really great. I completely agree with this. So you talked about your childhood and being surrounded by nature, but also you told me about how important for you it was to put Polish folklore in your EP. And it was very funny because obviously I told you on Instagram that you filmed some scenes of Sunlight, your previous single, in Brittany, France, which I was born and raised in. And it's a very, very folkloric place. So obviously it touches me as much because I love my culture and you probably do too. So how do you integrate your culture in your music/art and why is it important for you?
First of all, that's crazy and beautiful that we found each other because, oh my God, can you imagine?
Meant to be.
Yes. Yeah, we just casually recorded the video in Breton next to your house, maybe. We don't know. One of the most important aspects of my creativity is being authentic, and it feels very true to me to incorporate my cultural roots into my storytelling. I'd say it influences and supports my world building in my songwriting. And how do I do it? So, you could say Stormia is a creature of two worlds colliding. These two worlds are brutalism and Slavic folklore. So it's concrete, raw, industrial, paired with ethereal, magical, very feminine energy, like earthy energy. Poland is a post-communist country. If you go there, it's basically a block. So
Yeah.
in my childhood, I was subject to all this kind of architecture and stuff. Before I moved to the mountains, we were making jokes about the ugly, brutalist, post-communist buildings in Poland. But as I grew older, I gained the sentiment towards it. I think being Polish is a strong part of me. You know, like brutalism and Slavic folklore, you could see it as different things, like brutalism as masculine energy, Slavic folklore as more feminine energy. And it merges, it creates like a balance. Stormia is a spectrum, basically. The brutalist characteristics, you can find them in my music production or in some parts of the composition, like very strong synthesizers, maybe some drums that are like industrial, hard sounding. And then Slavic folklore, it has this tribal, family, traditional, primordial quality to it. It's in the vocals, it's in my lyrics, it's in the harmonies.
I love the complexity of it, and I love how you mix these two things that seem so different, but at the end of the day, actually gonna make a circle. And in a word, you're gonna need both of them.
Oh yes.
It's really
Oh
interesting.
yes. I
love
like that. Yeah.
So we talked about the subject of productivity, and this is the question. You're gonna be able to say all you want to say on this, but I think the subject of the cult of productivity, as you told me, I think is such an interesting subject to talk about. So what did you exactly mean by it, even if I already have an idea, and how did you incorporate it in your EP?
By the cult of productivity, I mean this mindset, this trend. I became familiar with it quite a while ago. I think during the first outburst of, in 2020.
Yeah.
I was in the last year of high school. We had to begin studying from our homes. So we all found ourselves having all this extra time. And you probably noticed, like, everyone started studying extra languages, taking up new hobbies, learning how to bake bread from scratch. And it became kind of our medicine to the boredom, to being confronted with our complicated emotions, run away from the feeling of being trapped in our own home. But it also is fueled by this very sick thought that you are only valuable if you constantly make yourself usable.
Because it's like, I have to be. And it's like, you have the right to just exist. Be
Yes.
bored. It's good.
This is, it's very abusive towards your own self. It's like this constant fight with a thought that if I'm not doing something useful or profitable, then I don't deserve to live.
I mean, it's linked to capitalism and so much more, but
Of course.
did you develop these thoughts in the lyrics, or did you incorporate it in the instrumental? Like, how did you balance it out?
Ooh, okay. In the lyrics, for sure. In Sunlight, for example, I talk about how money is see-through. Like, money is just a construct. But with the instrumental, it's a fucking crazy question. I like it. Thank you.
To be honest, I see it because you talked about like a concrete world. So the bass and like really hard drums could be linked to this violence of the cult of productivity. So even if it's not the perfect meaning of the cult of productivity, I think it's part of this concrete jungle, as it's the next question, but this concrete jungle that you told me about.
Yes, I think it's exactly most noticeable in Sunlight and Dear London, the next single. Because they have this very raw, mysterious, dark instrumental layer.
Yeah.
And it's mostly synths, sub-bass, bass, electronic drum kits. But yeah, that's a very good question. I'm still trying to think about the productivity and capitalism in the instrumental, and it's just you can see capitalism and productivity is resembled by the whole project, because I'm fucking crazy and I decided to do 3 music videos for this EP.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, I am a crazy person.
I mean, I'm delighted. I'm excited to see them. So we're just talking about the concrete jungle, and I think it's such a well said thing, concrete jungle, because obviously people would think jungle is only with nature, but you say concrete jungle to be like maybe London itself as a city, etc. So what are you exactly talking about when you say concrete jungle?
Concrete jungle. Because in the city, we humans are forced to become more animalistic. And by animalistic, I don't mean it in a good way.
Yeah.
Because we're basically supposed to focus on surviving and being better than others. Because in London or other big cities, be careful with all the violence, with all the thieves, with rowdy people in the streets. You need to be strategic, how to get a job, how to progress, how to get a better position, how to be better than your coworkers. Everything is supposed to have a purpose, like I'm gonna talk to that coworker and be friendly with them, but it's only so that they can help me with some stuff.
Yeah.
We are a machine trying to reach the goal. In a big city, you're basically surrounded by all this extra noise, stimuli, lights. It's overwhelming. You learn how to avoid being pushed. You learn how to maintain your sense of personal space, even if you can feel somebody's breath on your neck. You learn to look calm and composed, even if somebody in public makes you feel scared for your life. We are doing everything the opposite than the nature tells us. To survive in the city, we need to dull all the elements that are precious about human nature, and we enhance all those elements about ourselves that are only leading to survival and success.
I say it again and again, but it's such an interesting subject to talk about, and everything is linked. And I'm really excited to listen to the full EP and see how you wrote the lyrics and how you made the music videos. So I'm excited.
Thank you.
I have one more question for you.
Wait, my dear.
Yes?
I think I was supposed to talk about the solution as well.
Yes, I forgot about it. I was so in this. And so, yeah, do you have any solution to this concrete jungle and how to get out of it or survive in it?
I wouldn't say it's a specific solution, but if the listener listens closely to the songs, they will find a path. This EP is supposed to push you out of this stagnation and just find the path and embark on your own journey.
Love this. I hope I can find it in the songs.
Oh, you will.
Now, actually, the last question. It is your first EP, so do you have a vision of the future as an artist or any goals in mind? I know it's really difficult to make the job of an artist into an actual only job. So do you have any dreams or any goals?
Yeah, my dream is to make it my only job.
Yep, feel that.
Yeah, make a living out of making music, right? It feels impossible, but I think we are both so young. We are just starting. We should stay positive. I think our generation of musicians, we are very, how do I say it in English? But we have a lot of skills. We are not limited to just one subject. We have a lot of skills like social media, music production, project management. We will learn how to adapt and how to bring it to our benefit. I'm really hoping that Spotify and other platforms will start finding new solutions to pay the artists, because
completely agree.
now the system doesn't work. But as we're speaking, I am a week away from going to Los Angeles for a trip. Very excited about that. Never been there. And I'm planning to perform in some venues during my stay there. Hopefully find some cool creatives, connect with them, maybe find some future collaborations. The nearest future aside from that I can see, it's playing more gigs in London, continuing to work on my full-length album, because in the next year I would love to release a full-length album.
Yes.
That would be awesome. Aside from playing gigs in London, I would love to start touring in Europe as well, because from the beginning of my music dream, it was the goal to spread my music and connect with people in many different countries. And as a European myself, I find it very important to have my fans in Europe.
Come to France. I'll be here.
I will. But
Yes.
I need to collect some funds for the touring, obviously. As an independent artist, it's very hard. So
Yeah.
maybe some sugar daddies, sugar mummies will help.
For sure. I hope. I'm crossing fingers for you. Thank you for your answers. Sorry, it's not in the questions, but I'm curious. If a music company do notice you, would you have the idea of maybe signing with them? Or is it not an idea at all?
It is an
which
idea,
one,
but
maybe.
not for now.
Yeah, okay.
I try to see it more like a timeline kind of thing. For now, probably not. I mean, depending on the circumstances, but in most of the cases, if a label reaches out to a starting emerging artist, they're gonna exploit that artist.
Yeah.
Because lack of experience, the artist is very excited about getting the opportunity, so they just grab it, and they don't have the means to discuss their own conditions. And usually the conditions that the label offers, sometimes in the worst case scenarios, it's very exploitative. So
Not fun.
probably not. If it's possible, of course, I would love to have my own label, because
Yeah, that's a dream.
right? Would
Yeah.
you want to something like this too?
I would love to. I think it's amazing. Like, if you have the position one day, it's a general you, but of having a company, and then you can be an actual trustworthy platform and company, so you can really follow these artists and give them a platform to make art. I think it's like, I would love to be a singer, but being a CEO of a company, I would love it so much.
You feel like, is it your real calling?
I don't know. I'm in this moment of my life, I'm unsure about everything. So I'm
That's
battling
exciting.
between buying a van and just going around Europe, or just like
Wow.
making more music, or just finding a job somewhere. Your story is really inspiring me, and I want to make more music now.
Oh, that's so sweet.
You had amazing answers. Like, I know you wrote some answers, but like, it's...
I wrote
Thank
all
you
of
for your
them
answers.
because I have a goldfish memory.
Yeah, that was so great. Thank you so much for your time. I had a lovely time. Thank you so much for
Thank
contacting
you.
me. I would have never like have the strength and the courage to be like, hey, can I interview you? So thank you so much for that.
Oh, thank you, Sally. It's very sweet. And I'm very happy you had me and you gave me your time, and I'm super excited. It was a very beautiful conversation. And I know you said like 10-15 minutes, but it's been an hour.
Yeah, but it was too fun. I can stop the
It was too
answers when they're
fun.
too good, you know? I just like, nope, we have a time limit. So no, it was lovely.
I knew we would have a vibe. I knew it.
Everyone, go check Stormia out.
Yeah, check
So
me out.
lovely. Check her out. Go listen to her album, EP, and then next album. We'll talk about you in the future, I'm sure. So I'm excited to see that.
Thank you. Mwah.
Too.
Bye, bye, bye.